Welcome to another Grey Hack video. In this video we're checking out the nightly building Grey Hack. Nightly is the latest version of the game, and you can find information on how to get into nightly on the Grey Hack Discord. There's a link to the Grey Hack Discord in the description. In the latest version of the game there are some new features, and in these videos I'm checking out some of these features. Yeah, so in this video we are going to check out the new reverse shells. And the reverse shells are essentially programs that can be run by targets that will give us as hackers access to their computers, or will give us shell. So we are going to set up a reverse shell server that can accept or get the reverse shell connections, and the needed tools to set this up can be found in the hack shop. So what you would do is you would open a browser, go to your hack shop IP. How to get that, you will need to complete the tutorial mission, and I have a video tutorial on how to do that. Then we go into tools, and here we can find the R shell server. We will buy that. Maybe not. I think what we're going to do is we're going to connect to I already have connected, so I have this server down here, which I think we will use for the reverse shell instead. So we grab the hackshop IP like so, and then we're going to download the R shell server. This is a server service that can receive the reverse shell connections. It says it right here. Then we need the reverse shell interface. Reverse shell also uses metaexploit, so we need metaexploit. And I think that's it. What we're going to do now is we're going to start the reverse shell. I think this is the server we set up our firewall on. We will have to disable the firewall, but let's start the reverse shell server first. So this starts the server on the a service on the server, just like you would start an SSH service, and then it tells us that we need to port forward the service in order for it to work. Now I have firewall, but it's actually set to allow already, so the firewall is disabled, so that doesn't matter. Whatever, we can just remove them. There we go, no more firewall. You can check out my previous video on firewalls if you want to understand. This is the same server that we used for that video. If you want to check that out, you can check out that video. Yeah, so in port forwards we will need to add a new entry. Now the port for the reverse shell is by default 1222, and I see no reason why we should change that, so let's use the default port. And we need to set the LAN IP for the computer that we are running the reverse shell on. And we could actually show that. Let's see here. Let's grab the IP. So this is what the server looks like. It has a reverse shell service running on this LAN IP right here. So that's the LAN IP that we're going to port forward it to. This is just a scan tool. You can use nmap to see this information instead. It will of course not show the reverse shell on this port yet because we are not port forwarded it. Nmap, that is. We save this, and now the port forward has been made. So if we run the nmap tool again, you can see that it's now routed as my tool calls port forward. And that's the first step to setting up a reverse shell. We need somewhere for the connections to be received, and that's now set up on this server right here. The other part is that we need to run a listening device on the server, and that's where the reverse shell interface comes in. So now it's listening for upcoming connections, and the last part for using the reverse shells is to create a virus or a Trojan or whatever you want to call it for unsuspecting players to run. The reverse shell attack needs meta exploit, so we need to include that lib. You can just include lib, and then you can do, I'm not going to make this fancy, so we're just going to do home dir. If it finds meta in home dir, then it's going to run this virus. So we'll just do include the metaexploit.so if it can find it in the home directory. It might be in library and all other kinds of places, but if it can't find it in here, then okay, fine, I'll do that. So if not meta, then if it can't find meta here, then it will include it. Then meta is equal to -lib so it tries to find metaexploit in the home directory. If it can't find it there, then it tries to find it in the lib directory, and if it can't find it there, if not meta, then exit. You can don't just exit, doesn't matter. I just put something there. Okay. But if we got a so this checks that if it doesn't get a meta, if it doesn't get a meta, and if it gets past all of this, that means that it did get a meta. So we have meta, meta exploit, the library, and we can use that together with our shell client. And that takes a string for the IP address, the port, which we use the default one, and an optional one for the process name that the reverse shell will start. since we're running this on this computer right here, this is the server that is receiving the connections. We can just put that IP in here, and this is actually it. This is the Trojan virus, whatever. You can make this a lot more fancy, but this is like the basic bare bones thing. I'm gonna just do Trojan down here as well. This is gonna start or give a shell to well, if you run this script on any computer, it will gift the shell on that computer to this server right here and the hacker listening. Let's name this don't run. That makes sense. We told you. And then we will, for example, use it. Let's see here. We have don't run down here. And this is a different server right here. So as you can see here, we have like test and encode.stores and stuff in our root folder. So if we run don't run, it says told you, and then this server right here got a shell connection. So now we can select if we want to use, well, potentially giving you the option to have several shells connected to the reverse shell server. We will select the shell we got, and now the IP changed, and we are now in the root folder on this computer right here, the target's victim, whatever, their computer. And you can see here we have don't run and test and encode.stores. We actually have root terminal access to their computer. Let's go back and just to show you how powerful this can be, we're going to put don't run on our home computer. So imagine that a player downloaded your virus from somewhere, or maybe you were even clever enough to be able to replace one of their files on their computer with another file, so that they now have a virus Trojan on their home computer. The home computer is the holy grail of targets for hackers, of course. Then we run PowerShell interface. Oh yeah, I forgot. So whenever you run the don't run, it will start a reverse shell, and that reverse shell will be running until somebody kills the process. So if for whatever reason the player doesn't notice your intrusion, then you will be able to use the reverse shell several times until maybe they log off. So we'll do PS. Actually, we'll do we're gonna kill the reverse shell client. Whatever, let's do 10. There we go. And now the reverse shell is no longer running, which means that we can restart this interface right here. And now it's listening for incoming connections. And now we put don't run on our home computer. But if we run it anyways, it now gave us a root shell on our home computer. So now I have access to my home computer from this reverse shell server. And as you can see, it can be very powerful because this is a instant method for instant accessing, instant access of player computers. What I'm curious to see is if I run, let's see here, let's do exit. And then no. Okay, so that bugs it. Terminal. Oh yeah, this is not the reverse shell server. Guess we need to log in again. Here we are. Now we run reverse shell. And I'm curious to see what happens if we don't run as well on this server. So now we have reverse shell started on 2 servers. So it doesn't seem to be working. This is probably an issue in the reverse shell code. So perhaps if you make your own, you could avoid this issue, and you will be able to actually select from several different reverse shells at your leisure. So this is how reverse shells work. I'm not sure if there's much more to tell. You would then either you could now I closed it sadly, but imagine I still had the don't run script up here. You could put that kind of script either alone into a small script that the player would run, or you could hide it in a bigger script, and perhaps they won't notice that the reverse shell is starting a process on their computer. Protection against this would of course be to monitor the the processes that are run on the computer. You could easily create something that checks for irregularities when it comes to what processes are run, and that way you would detect. It could work like an antivirus. You could detect if a reverse shell has been started. Another fun thing could be to, let's just do a browser here. Let's go to a shop. For example, this one. And see if there's anyone home. No shell. That's too bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that then. Something better. Maybe the main shop, big one. That's the same version. 1.1.6, but it had another port open. Yeah, that didn't help at all. Maybe a mail. No, wait, you can't use mail. It has to be shop. Okay, what about this one? 3rd time's the charm. Here we go. This is 1.0.8. Finally another version. Root. Wow, 2 of them. Wow, root shell. Okay, we were done. Excellent. I think it's in like public or something. Yeah. And then in downloads. So in here we have the files: nmap, SNTP list, SSH server. Now, something very evil would be to replace like nmap with our virus. I'm not gonna do that. But what I will do is I will put I don't know why I'm showing you this, but it's a fun thing, I think. These folders might be protected now, though. I don't remember if that's the thing. You could do this kind of stuff before, but they look protected to me. You might not be able to do this. My idea is to upload it. We will test it. Yeah. Or maybe... But why does it say invalid? Oh, we don't actually have it. Where do we put it? Don't we have it on here? We did run it. That's strange. What kind of silly mistake am I making now? 14. That should be this, right? Terminal. File Explorer. Okay, let's put don't run on here. How did I? That's so strange. Okay, so now we have it. No, wait. No, no, no. We put root don't run. Yeah, permission denied. You're not actually allowed to edit those. So we can't do that. But if you could, then it would be a fun way to get your viruses in the hands of the other players. You would download it from the shop. But not a method that works anymore. Has been changed. Okay, I think this is more than enough information on how to use reverse shells. And I guess with that we have gone over all the major changes to the game. As always, I take suggestions to what kind of stuff you would like to see in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.